I'm very pleased to be interviewing Chris Lennon, who is President and CEO for MediAnswers. Thank you for your time today.
Glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get to where you are today?
So I like to say that I was doomed to a life of broadcasting from birth. My father was a lifelong broadcaster. I actually got my first real paycheck at 12 years old in broadcasting. So I've been in it forever. I started out on the broadcasting side of things, working at a TV station for many years, and that was great to get some exposure to the people who actually are at the sharp end of the sword, so to say. And so I worked on that end in several capacities for several years, and then made the leap over to the vendor side of things, and went to work for a company that built broadcast traffic systems primarily, and did that for many years. We were then taken over by another company that expanded the product lines, and I got into some other areas: broadcast automation, asset management, things like that. Then we got bought up by another company. I like to say I was at the same job for over 20 years, but the company kept changing around me. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And I ended up at Harris Corporation, large company, 16,000 people, and in the broadcast division, and working on all kinds of interesting things, a huge range of broadcast products. I got exposure at that point, not just to the broadcast side of things, but the agency side of things as well. I got to appreciate some of the challenges upstream of the actual media companies and how we might make those work together. About a year and a half ago, I broke off and formed my own company, MediAnswers, and since then, we've been working with a lot of different, very interesting clients in the media business, and doing a lot of projects related specifically to advertising, which is kind of a passion of mine. I've seen that as an area that's ripe for some new innovation and improvement in some of the workflows that are taking place right now.
So I'm curious, what did you get paid for when you were 12 at a broadcast network?
It was funny. I did work for the CBC up in Canada, the national network, helping them out with their election coverage, really doing data entry. Even at 12 years old, I was pretty good on a computer, and so I did that. And I actually still have a nice little letter of recommendation I got at 12 years old from one of the executives of the CBC. So that was the start to all of this.
So tell me about MediAnswers.
So we started MediAnswers in late 2012 as a unique consultancy for the media industry. We like to say that there are a lot of people who claim to be systems integrators in the media industry, but for the most part they plug boxes together and make boxes work. We like to say what we do is really more allow software systems to work together and improve workflows and efficiencies for companies, and that's turned out great. Right now we've got two of us doing most of the work. Me and a gentleman named Peter Storer, who's very well known in the industry as well, and it's been a great adventure for a year and a half.
Can you give me an example of a project and a client that you've worked with?
So we've worked on a lot of really interesting projects over the last year and a half, but one of the more interesting ones has been working with SIM on a project that is allowing us to try to find a way to embed media identifiers for both advertising and non-advertising assets actually into the content in such a way that if you watch it on a big screen or on a tablet or on a phone, or no matter how you get it, we can identify what that content was. And to me, that's a really big deal. That's something that we don't do well as a business. And so when I got the opportunity to lead the group working on that, I jumped at it. I thought it was a great challenge, and it sounded like it would be lots of fun, and it really has been.